मेरे सनम, शुक्रिया मेहरबानी करम.
Coming to you live from the Radio Azad studios on the internet and on 11:10 a.m. This is Double Shot Espresso with life coach Tasneem and Ayesha. All right, Janab. Aaj ka show is about a two-letter word that has so much power, and that is the word no. But before we get into it, we actually have a caller. Let's take them on the air. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैसी हैं आप?
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, बिल्कुल ठीक. आप बताएं कैसे हैं?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. और मुझे ये बोलना था कि टिकट जो है ऑफ द शेल्फ नहीं, मुझे तो अफशा की डायलॉग मुझे पसंद है कि दे आर सेलिंग लाइक हॉट जलेबी.
I like that. They're selling like hot jalebi. Yes. Perfect. I will write that down in the announcement.
टॉपिक पे फिट होता है. नो नहीं बोल सकते हैं जलेबी को.
बिल्कुल, हमारी बहुत लंबी लिस्ट है जिस पे नो नहीं बोल सकते, यानी गुलाब जामुन और चॉकलेट केक और पता नहीं क्या क्या.
मैं बोला कि आज का शो आपका बड़ा जबरदस्त रहेगा और बिजी हो जाएगा, तो मैं बोला कि भाई मैं अपनी जो है हाजिरी दे दूं और फिर सुनते हैं आपका शो.
ठीक है, वेरी गुड आजम साहब, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कॉलिंग इन एंड चेकिंग इन विद अस एंड वी लुक फॉरवर्ड टू योर कंट्रीब्यूशन लेटर ऑन इन द शो. हाउ आर यू Tasneem?
Very well. How are you, Ayesha?
I am doing good. See, aren't you glad that you didn't say no
to Radio Azad?
Yes, 2 years ago.
2 odd years ago. Yeah, I mean, imagine what a journey it's been, right? Incredible. तो हर चीज़ के लिए हाँ बोलना चाहिए, लेकिन कभी कभी ना बोलना चाहिए, और वो कभी कभी बहुत ज़रूरी वाला ना होता है, तो वो भी सीखना एक आर्ट है, एक कला है, एक हुनर है. So let's talk about that today.
तो बहुत अच्छी हो गई है.
I think ये ब्रोंकाइटिस ने मुझे ना लहजा मेरा पूरा साफ कर दिया, मेरी ज़बान साफ हो गई.
All right, so the two-letter word has so much power, like we talked about. It's underused, and you know, when we do use it, there's so much guilt that's associated with it. It's associated almost with failure. ठीक है कि हमने ना कह दिया, we are not able to do this. It has a sense of obligation that couches it. But you know what? I think we have to learn that it's okay to make ourselves a priority. And I think that's what we're going to learn about today, is why it's important to say no, and most importantly, how do we say no?
जी बिल्कुल, because rightly as you said, many times ना बोलना एक ना, it's like an act of aggression, or you feel कि मैं अगर ना बोलूँगी तो I'm going to draw conflict towards me. So most people do not want to be in that situation because they feel that no शब्द में ही एक negative connotation है, and because of that, they don't want to be the bad guy or the bad girl. They also, like as you said, एक वो जो guilt आती है of letting the other person down. So you feel that, you won't be liked, or you will be criticized or perceived as uncaring and unhelpful. And as a result, you usually go down the path of least potential conflict, which means that you just say yes and comply with people. Now, interestingly, the ability to say no is closely linked to self-confidence. Do you have ever imagined that? Exactly. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but there is a linkage over there, that it could be because of one of the reasons could be that too. People with low self-confidence and self-esteem often feel nervous about, any kind of antagonization or antagonizing others, and tend to rate others' needs more highly than their own. And therefore, of course, we're going to in a bit talk about other reasons that could also, be the causes of why we have trouble saying no. But I just personally feel कि अगर आप हर दफ़ा हाँ बोल रही हैं and you're just saying yes all the time, it just leaves you so exhausted.
Absolutely.
It's so stressful, and many times, you kind of become, irritable. It could be affecting your quality of life, because you're mostly just worrying about how you're going to keep already promised commitments. And sometimes we avoid ruffling feathers, but I'd like to ask, at what cost? At the cost of your personal integrity, at the cost of disrespect, or being a coward, so to speak, by not speaking up for yourself. So these don't sound like really admirable qualities. So sometimes saying no is the most honorable and respectful thing you can say to someone.
In an ideal world.
In an ideal world. And I think if you make it a practice, that ideal world can very well be yours, because you're speaking to somebody, and here I'm coming straight from the heart. मेरी पूरी 20s मैंने इसी में गुजारी है, saying yes and being a people pleaser. I think one of the reason that led me into this field was when I needed a life coach, because amongst other things, this was one other thing. I just had so much trouble standing up for myself and saying no. And it's not about things like easy things like, okay, helping somebody, or walking the extra mile, but saying no to more serious things in life, standing up for your own self-worth and integrity. And those are bigger questions of life which you do not want not answered.
Sure, you don't want to compromise on that. We have a caller. Let's see what they have to say. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. Hussaini bol raha hu.
Walaikum assalam. I'm enjoying your calls early in the show, Hussaini Sahab.
माफी चाहता हूँ, मुझे आपकी गेस्ट का नाम मैं क्या कर सका, मगर उनको भी मेरा सलाम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. तस्नीम, मेरा नाम तस्नीम है.
तस्नीम जी तस्नीम. आज का टॉपिक बड़ा अच्छा है आपका, और the way I think you have described it all what just said earlier. I think I like to say no because I feel kind of down if I say no to somebody. And it's also to me a matter of pride. या अगर मैं किसी को कोई चीज मांगे, या कोई भी चीज आप ले लें, एनी टॉपिक, जॉब रिलेटेड हो, या तो नो बोलना, आई फील कि मैं एक किस्म से इंसल्ट कर रहा हूँ. और इफ इट्स नॉट बियॉन्ड माय एबिलिटी, देन आई एम गोना से आई एम सॉरी, ये मैं नहीं कर सकता. लेकिन आई विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट अ वर्ड नो, क्योंकि दैट्स नॉट द वे आई वाज ब्रॉट अप इन माय वोकैबुलरी टू से नो टू एवरीथिंग. एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल, हर चीज हो सकती है, लेकिन कभी कभी ऐसे भी कुछ चीजें होती हैं जिसमें यू हैव टू मेक अ डिसीजन एंड से नो. इन दैट केस आई विल अपोलोजाइज एंड से मैं ये नहीं कर सकता. Then I feel guilty about it, obviously.
So here's the flip side, Hussaini Sahab. अगर आपको कोई no बोले, so then how do you react?
I kind of feel that this guy doesn't want to, he or she doesn't want to help me, or शायद interest नहीं है. Maybe she is prejudiced. I don't know. I get a lot of feelings. अगर कोई मुझे ना बोले, and then I feel कि how rude also दिमाग में आता है मेरे. They saying no to me. I mean, I'm not anybody big. I'm not somebody big authority. But तो भी कोई no बोले तो, but I accept it though. ठीक है भाई, no problem. I move on to something else.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay,
and
thank you. Take care.
Do call
Thank
back if you have any other points. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning.
How do you guys like this foggy, drizzling morning?
Okay,
it's
I love
beautiful.
it. I don't know about Aisha, but she's like looking at me like strange, like पागल हो गई है. But ये मेरा वाला weather है. ये मुझे अच्छा लगता है.
मेरा वाला भी weather है.
अच्छा.
I love this weather.
Oh my. I'm not a big fan of
इसमें
it.
एक बस लिखो आप कोई अच्छी सी नज़म, कोई पोएट्री. कितना
शायरी
मजा.
वाला मौसम.
मैं रोमांटिक लोगों के बीच में आ गई हूँ कहाँ से. It would be different if you're snuggled up with a blanket, a cup of nice coffee in front of the fireplace or something, but it's not that cold either. So
Yeah, it's like
No, it's
61,
not.
62.
And Aisha, you guys having the best company together in this weather is my best. Like, that's my best scenario.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. That's true. I have very good company, so can't complain. Yes.
So I would say that in your topic, saying no is an art, which I don't have. And I really think that people who have learned this art and who do it very nicely, very smoothly, they are very lucky to have it with them. And so, I mean, you really need to know this art, because you don't want to say no to things, but sometimes you have to. But then you really don't want to hurt other people's feeling or being disrespectful to them. So it's definitely an art, and I feel like if अगर आपको आ जाता है तो it's really nice.
बिल्कुल. Yeah, एक as I was saying in the beginning ना कि एक skill है. Some people are born with, not born with it, but they kind of learn it very early in life and use it. But some of us, we learn the hard way. But just like any habit needs practice, it's a skill that needs practice.
Yep, and I hope I learn it by the end of this show. That how to.
Inshallah, that will be my
I hope you don't learn it too much, Tasneem.
Okay, nice talking to you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, Janab, सुन रहे हैं आप Radio Azad, and this is Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha. Let's take a little bit of a song break, and we will be right back. Studio phone number 972-501-9390. लगता है आप लोगों को गाने नहीं सुनने आज. लेते हैं कॉलर्स. रेडियो आज़ाद, you're on the air.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम.
जी वालेकुम सलाम.
हाँ भाई, आयशा और तस्नीम दोनों को भाई देखें, ना बोलना ही जो है ना बोलना और ना को एक्सेप्ट करना, दोनों अगर उसको एक्सप्लेनेशन और रीजनिंग बिहाइंड के साथ में करे ना तो बड़ा मजा आता है, और वो आपको भी एक्सेप्टेबल होता है, और जब दूसरे को किसी को ना बोलते हो वो भी एक्सेप्ट करते हैं.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. And let's talk about that.
मैं अपनी पर्सनल वो दे रहा हूँ कि मैंने नो लोगों को बोला भी है और नो एक्सेप्ट भी किया है, दोनों.
ठीक है.
लेकिन उसके पीछे बिहाइंड द सीन क्या है,
ठीक है,
अगर आप उसको रीजनिंग बिहाइंड दें, एक्सप्लेन करें कि भाई आपकी क्या सिचुएशन है, कि क्यों आप ना बोल रहे हैं सामने वाले.
ठीक है, परफेक्ट.
और थैंक यू.
जी बोलिए. यू हैव अनदर पॉइंट?
हाँ, नहीं, दूसरा ये बोलना था कि उसी तरह से ये जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसको बहुत ख्याल करना चाहिए, राइट. वरना क्या होता है कि किसी को आपने नो बोल के उसका हार्ट, उसकी फीलिंग को हर्ट किया, उसके हार्ट को ब्रेक किया, या कुछ भी इस तरह की चीजें होती है. दैट्स समथिंग वन आउट टू बी माइंडफुल.
ठीक है.
जब किसी को ना बोलते हैं तो बहुत ख्याल करना चाहिए, राइट, बिकॉज वी ऑल आर ह्यूमन बीइंग.
Sure.
So you have to put yourself into their shoes to think.
Right.
मैं उसको ना बोलूंगा या कुछ करूंगा तो कैसा फील होगा.
बिल्कुल.
Or if somebody will give you the same medicine that you're giving it to somebody else, how would you feel?
बिल्कुल.
Thank you.
ठीक है, thank you so much. Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Good morning, Aisha ji.
Good morning. कहाँ थी आप? Oh my goodness. चलें देर.
बस मैं वेट कर रही थी आप ये टॉपिक लेके आए और मैं आपको कॉल करूं, और ये टॉपिक मुझसे काफी रिलेट करता है.
अच्छा.
क्योंकि मैंने आज तक कभी किसी को नो नहीं बोला है.
नहीं बोला.
मेरे में वो एक्चुअली आई डोंट हैव दैट स्किल्स टू से नो. तो जितना मैं लोगों को हेल्प कर सकती हूँ करती हूँ. हाँ, पर लेकिन आई नीड टू लर्न. समटाइम्स आप कई बार आप बिजी होते हैं, आप कुछ चीजें जो कमिटमेंट करते हैं आप नहीं कर सकते, तो वो आर्ट भी आना चाहिए कभी कभी, क्योंकि मुश्किल हो जाता है कई बार चीजें उनको कंप्लीट करना. और मेरे ख्याल से कि जो बहुत मैच्योर लोग होते हैं वो समझते हैं, वो अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं कि कोई ना कोई रीजन होता है सामने वाले का. अगर वो नो बोल रहा है तो अगर आप नो बोल भी रहे हैं तो बहुत मतलब अच्छे से रिस्पेक्टिव तरीके से रिप्रेजेंट करना चाहिए कि सामने वाले की फीलिंग हर्ट नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
जी
बिल्कुल.
मेरा बस यही कहना है, और आई होप मैं आप लोगों से कुछ थोड़ा सा स्किल लर्न करूंगी कि आप
इंशाल्लाह
हम सब एक दूसरे से सीखेंगे. थैंक यू रितु, वेरी गुड पॉइंट्स, एंड वील डेफिनेटली टॉक अबाउट दैट. ओके, और इसको करते हैं ड्रॉप. रेडियो आजाद, you're on the air.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम लेडी.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. गुड मॉर्निंग.
कैसी हैं आप लोग? गुड मॉर्निंग. अभी आपको मैंने तस्नीम बोलते सुना कि when you were in your 20s.
जी.
What do you mean when you were in 20s? I thought you were in your 20s right now. you are in your 20s.
अभी सुबह आप मुझे झाड़ पे चढ़ाएगी तो मैं तो चढ़ूंगी भाई.
वो कहीं घर नहीं जाना.
हाँ प्लीज.
अच्छा देखिए, नहीं से मुझे समझ आया. एक्चुअली मुझे एक जल्दी से जोक आ गया था. किसी ने कहा था खाना बनावे नहीं, तो उसमें ना शौहर आता है जॉब से, तो बीवी कहती है मेरे लिए चाय बना दो, तो वो बहुत तंग आ जाता है, फेड अप हो जाता है, मैं थक गया हूँ तुमको मेरे काम बोलते बोलते, अब मैं नहीं करूंगा, मैं जा रहा हूँ नेक्स्ट डोर अटर्नी के पास और मैं डिवोर्स के लिए फाइल कर रहा हूँ। तो वो चला जाता है, थोड़ी देर 5 मिनट के बाद वापस आ जाता है, तो बोलता है वही तुम गए थे तो क्या हुआ, नहीं करी फाइल तुमने डिवोर्स? बोले नहीं, वो जो ना जो वकील साहब है ना बर्तन धो रहे थे।
Oh, okay, now I got it.
बर्तन धो रहे थे।
ट्यूबलाइट। लेकिन ना के अंदर ऐसी बात होती है, जब से मैंने ना बोलना सीखा है, वैसे मैं यूजुअली नोइंग माय नेचर मैं इतना नहीं बोलती थी, लेकिन जिंदगी में सुकून ही सुकून है।
बिल्कुल।
जहाँ पे आपका ओन कंफर्ट, बहुत दफा चीजें आप बहुत करते हैं कि अपने कंफर्ट लेवल से हट के करते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे अपनी खुद की लाइफ बहुत आप जेपटाइज हो रही है, वहाँ पे मैं समझती हूँ नो बोलना, आई थिंक इट्स नॉट ऑल दैट बैड। और लोगों को समझना चाहिए, और फिर आपको खुद भी समझना चाहिए कि अगर आपको कोई नो बोल रहा है तो वो बंदी अगर आप उसको जानते हैं कि जो हर बात पे नो बोलता है तो वो अलग बात है, लेकिन जो कर लेता है आपकी चीजें और कभी नो बोल रहा है तो यू हैव टू बी अंडरस्टैंडेबल टू इट्स अ टू वे ट्रैफिक।
Absolutely, and this is a point that Ritu was actually making, so we'll talk about that. जी।
और दूसरी एक चीज मैं बोलना चाह रही थी, आपकी जो ना पे जो बात होती है ना, मैं समझती हूँ हॉलीवुड नहीं, बॉलीवुड एंड हमारी जो डॉलीवुड है, उन्होंने बड़ा ग्लोरीफाई करा है नो को। जब वो कहते लड़की जब नो बोलती है इसका मतलब हाँ, उसकी आंखों में हाँ होती है, और ये ना, so I think it's just and that's how people act. So no का मतलब I think no means no, there's not no I think hidden
agenda in that,
I think in there. तो उस पे गाना मुझे याद आ गया, ना ना करते प्यार, आज मैं कर गई फिल्म आपके ये मेरी धड़कन।
ठीक है, बिल्कुल। Thank you so much. All right, and lots of great points. I think Bollywood, Hollywood, and that whole, well, it's actually no, but no means yes. And then that's why we have now this direct result of the Me Too movement.
Exactly.
There is a complete linkage between the two. Yeah, Radio Azad, hello.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
ओरिजिनल बहार बेगम आ गई।
आप बोलती, मुझे इतनी हंसी आ रही थी वो ऐड सुन के। पहले तो ये बोलना है कि आप लोग के हर ऐड इतने ह्यूमरस, कॉमिकल, वेरी वेल पुट, और ये आज तो बहार बेगम का सुन के बहुत, रफी इतने खुश होंगे, अभी नहीं है मगर ही विल बी सो हैप्पी। बहार बेगम,
he inspired me, but it's no way what you are, so
बहार बेगम का नाम सुन के मैं तो बोलने वाली थी, बहार बेगम बोल रही हूँ। एनीवे, बहुत मजा आया सुन के। थैंक यू सो मच, मजा आ गया।
थैंक यू सो मच।
ये ऐड दी दूसरे भी जो सुनती हूँ ना, वो जो डिफरेंट बाजार्स के आप लोग करते हैं और वो खाने के, एंड ऑल सो वंडरफुली पुट, वेरी वेरी टैलेंटेड टीम, माशाल्लाह।
थैंक यू सो मच।
तो ये नो का जो सिलसिला है ना, मेरे लिए क्राइसिस ऑफ कॉन्शियस है। नो बोलूं या यस बोलूं, हमेशा इस माइंड में ये चलती रहती है जंग, तो उसको मैं कहती हूँ क्राइसिस ऑफ कॉन्शियस।
लवली।
के हाँ बोलना या ना बोलना, तो वो एक ऐसा वो होता है ना, आर्चरी, निशानाबाजी, कैसे सीखने के लिए टाइम लगता है, वैसा किस चीज में यस बोलना या नो बोलना मेरे लिए एक निशानाबाजी की तरह आर्चरी का स्किल था। ऐसा ऐसा करके मैंने वो बैलेंस क्रिएट किया है बिटवीन अ करेजियस नो एंड अ कॉन्फिडेंट यस। नो बोलने के लिए करेज भी चाहिए और कॉन्फिडेंस भी चाहिए। यस बोलने के लिए जरा आसान है, कॉन्फिडेंस चाहिए। यस उस वक्त बोलती हूँ अगर किसी की मदद होती है, एज लॉन्ग एज वो चीज ऐसा प्रेशर ना हो कि मेरे अपने बाउंड्री के बाहर हो, कि मुझे बाद में उसके लिए रिजेंटमेंट फील हो, मेरा टाइम जो चीज मैं करना मांगती थी उसके लिए ओवरवेलमिंग ना हो। तो आजकल मैं डिसाइफर करने लगी हूँ कहाँ हाँ कहाँ ना, बट इट हैज टू बी a balance between a courageous no and a confident yes, and अपना टाइम मैनेजमेंट इफेक्ट वो ना हो, डिस्टर्ब ना हो। मगर साथ साथ कुछ ऐसे चीजें हैं, अगर कोई बोले कि हमको जरा सा डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, कोई और ले जाने के लिए नहीं है, चाहे कितना भी मसरूफ काम हो, अगर वो मेरे पेरीमीटर में है रिगार्डिंग माइलेज, means in the sense of driving, I will do it. I will do those things which will help really needy people, definitely. चाहे वो मेरी अपनी बाउंड्री क्रॉस हो रही हो या नहीं। तो उसके एक जगह मैं पढ़ रही थी, ये मेरा अपना नहीं है मगर ये पढ़ रही थी, ABC ऑफ सोशल प्रेशर. एक्नॉलेज A से what they are pressuring you about. B is set your boundary so that you are not resentful or angry afterward and that you can do it. C is close the deal. Deal माने yes बोलना है या no बोलना है. Definitely no to negative situations like abusive people or jealousy or anything in which you feel you are being overused or taken advantage of again and again. मगर ये प्रोसेस रहा है. मेरा अपना टेम्परामेंट जो था वो था कि हाँ बोलने से इतनी खुशी होती थी मुझे, मगर उसमें मैंने देखा कि काफी हाई स्पीड पे मुझे चलना पड़ता था. मीन्स अपने काम भी, उनके काम भी, मेरा ये मेरा वो एंड ऑल. अब जाके मैं वो चीजें खाली करती हूँ जो रियली यस बोलने के लायक हैं. और नो बोलने का भी एक तरीका होता है. फर्मली बट सॉफ्टली.
Yes.
Be very clear, be very specific, and don't feel bad and guilty about it because you think for a day before you give a specific answer. तो ये मैं समझती हूँ.
Excellent. At what age or what decade of your life do you think कि आपको ये सारी चीजें प्रोसेस करके आपने ये डिसाइड किया?
ये देखिए, शुरू में तो जैसा टीन्स में, 20s में, 30s में, 40s में, only last 4 years have I really matured into a very balanced person in the sense of saying yes or no, especially in this regard. आज बात करें, 3-4 साल पहले से मैंने ये देखा कि कोई हर्ज नहीं है ना बोलने में अगर वो चीज आपके कंफर्टेबल जोन से भी, कंफर्ट जोन के थोड़ा बाहर भी मैं आजकल यस कह देती हूँ. About 4-5 years ago, you know. And all this comes with experience and maturity and all that. मगर अगर हाँ बोलने से आपका कॉन्शियस खुश है, आपको अच्छी नींद मिल रही है, जरूर हाँ बोले. मगर पहले अपनी जिंदगी का भी पूरा करके ये. तो आई वुड से लास्ट 4 years में आई फील आई हैव रियली जो बोलते ना फुलफिल, बिल्कुल मुकम्मल बहार बेगम अपने लिहाज से. वो नहीं करी, एरोगेंस से नहीं बोल रही हूँ, खुशी से और कॉन्फिडेंस से कह रही हूँ.
Wonderful. Lot of people want to be like you.
Thank you. Take care. Okay.
Khudafiz.
Khudafiz. So very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a process.
It definitely is, and I think that's what we started saying. एक experience होता है, maturity होती है, उसके बाद एक practice होती है. For me, I would just repeatedly say that yes, experience and maturity, और जहाँ पे आपको हाँ बोलना है और आप जहाँ हाँ बोल सकते हैं, जो आपको खुशी देता है, तो वो तो you know, बेहिजक, without any issues, you need to completely do that, because those are things which are good for the soul, you know. You want to help that, and if that means going out of the way to help somebody, yeah, I mean, those things are good for the soul. But you know, sometimes when, you know, as SKF she says, when you are just completely stretching yourself and it is required that you say no, and then again, as everyone is saying, from morning there is a way of saying no.
Absolutely,
which is also important.
I have a question for you, and based a lot on what SKFG says, one thing I've observed is women tend to take a lot throughout their lives, and they'll bend over backwards and, you know, do everything, be the glue that keeps the house together, bachon ka, parents ka, siblings ka, husband ka, everything. And then they reach a point where they're like, you know what, enough is enough. They reach that breaking point.
Yeah,
where they become the dumping ground for everybody, and then they reach that breaking point and they're like, enough. And then everybody is just left stunned, like, who is this and how did this happen?
Exactly, and very good. I mean, I want to take that ending and then work my way backwards. Exactly what you said. Who is this, and how come, why is she behaving like this? That is so true. When you start saying no, when you're so used to, people are so used to you saying yes, you're going to get that reaction. You're going to get that reaction where people are going to ask you, you know, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? You seem very stressed. Is everything okay? Because they're not used to. So let that not deter you, number one, because, you know, a lot of times when people say that, you kind of think to yourself that, hey, yeah, maybe I'm just not myself. Maybe I'm just overwhelmed. And in a week later, you go back to your own old ways. So that's important right there. Thank you for bringing that up. And then as we work our way backwards, where women are concerned, I was actually reading in a research, it said that women in particular are more prone to saying yes rather than saying no, and we kind of have more trouble in learning to say no. And as I was thinking about the reasons for that, and I'd like to pose that question to our listeners too, as to, do you think, number one, that women are more have more of a difficulty in saying no, and then if yes, then why? But in my opinion, I feel a lot of us as women, as girls, are being brought up from childhood to be like, to feel that you need to be nice, to be more in touch with your own and people's feelings than boys. There's nothing wrong with being nice, and there's nothing wrong with being liked, but boys, on the other hand, I feel are socialized to be less attuned to people's feelings, but more like, go out there and get it. Bade aadmi bano, or go and live your ambition, or achievers. And in that sense, therefore, the women end up also become achievers in terms of evolution and seeing the world around them. And however, it does come from that underlying foundation of just having to be nice, and that is why we struggle with saying no, in my opinion. And also sometimes childhood influences are key to the formation of beliefs. So if you have been in any way brought up to believe that I'm only lovable if I'm compliant and helpful, then you will have this need to please people in order for your self-worth, and that then becomes a vicious circle of existence.
And the sad thing is, you will never reach up to people's expectations.
Yeah, because jitna bhi
that
karoge,
last line was absolutely paramount, because when that bar just keeps rising higher and higher and higher, and that level of that standard of perfection just keeps getting higher and higher, it doesn't matter what you do. You can bend over backwards, you can do everything perfectly, but it's just never good enough. And I think that's when we reach that breaking point.
where you then say enough is enough, and then you actively pursue learning the art of saying no.
Yeah. So the question that you posed, Tasneem, was what is it about women, and in particular, that makes it hard for us to say no? And I think, first of all, that whole nice girl syndrome and that people-pleasing syndrome that we are socialized with. Second thing, I think, is cultural and societal norms. We are socialized that way, right?
Yeah.
And the third thing is expectations. That our relationships have from us, that society has from us, to just be that perfect person, and just to get everything done and do everything and be the accountant and the cook and the housekeeper and the wife and the daughter and that
so many roles.
So many roles, and that expectation. I think we get so divided in all that we lose who we are in the process.
Yeah, very true. And then that day of reckoning, as you said, comes one fine day, and when you realize that, oh my God, what have I done, and enough is enough, and no is no, and all of that. And then that's when people go into like a shock, because they're not used to this behavior.
Oh, Janab, sun rahe aap Radio Azad, and this is Double Shot Espresso with Tasneem and Ayesha, life coach Tasneem and Ayesha, I may add. We're talking about the art of saying no. So Tasneem, off the air, aap mujhse baatein kar rahi thi, and we were talking actually about what have we learned in our childhood, what causes us to not to say no.
तो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें तो हमने कॉलर्स के थ्रू और while we were talking कवर कर ली. You mentioned societal issues and then cultural things also. कभी कभी ना एक religious upbringing भी होती है, where you feel कि you're supposed to do this as a female, or you're supposed to do this as a male, and then that upbringing, has you not being able to say no. या अगर आपने एक very economically challenging environment में आपका upbringing हुआ है, where you watched your parent, cut corners or always have to say yes in order to, bring food to the table to survive or whatever. So those things are unconsciously going into your subconscious to develop you to think that, okay, that's the way of being normal. And again, then there are so many different forms of parenting. Like if you have very strict parents, that can have that kind of an impact. Or mixed message parenting, where they're lenient one moment and then demanding the next. So, you best decided कि भाई मैं conform ही कर लूँ, where, I will not risk rejection, so to speak. फिर एक distracted parenting होता है, where your parent suffered a difficult relationship, या आपने देखा था कि, your parents didn't really get along, and you didn't want to add to their burden, so आपने हर चीज़ जो उन्होंने मांगी वो yes कर दिया, and that became a way of life. या फिर एक unresolved parenting होती है, where your parent herself or himself has not really solved their own personal issues, be it with their parents or be it with their life and circumstances, and this played out on you, their faulty dynamics, and you imbibed them because you knew better at that stage of life. So a lot of childhood issues can go into it if you definitely, been with a parent who has this nice girl syndrome or, or nice guy syndrome. That also definitely can affect you as a child growing up. And then obviously, as we discussed, cultural and societal influences. However, the psychological cost of not saying no, imagine that. I mean, अगर आप सोचोगे कि मैंने ना नहीं बोला और मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ, what are you actually carrying as a reward for that? You may think that, oh, everybody likes me, or, I'm kind of helping everyone. But if you're doing it at the cost of your own well-being, then number one, anxiety. Anxiety can happen because at an unconscious level, you are aware that you're moving further and further away from achieving your own personal goals and creating the life that you really wish. You're just so torn apart between doing all these things for yourself and for others that you have just no time for yourself. Stress. The more time you spend doing things for others, the less time you have for yourself. And this means you have less time to get done what you need to, leaving you constantly experiencing stress as you try to fit in what you need to do or rush through things you meant to enjoy. Just as Kev ji ne bola ki, when she used to, keep saying yes, she realized that she had to really stretch herself because she had to do all the stuff she needed to do plus what she had committed to others. उसकी वजह से डिप्रेशन हो सकता है. Always giving to the demands of others can make you secretly feel bad about yourself and lead to low self-esteem, जिसकी बात मैंने पहले की थी. वो जब low self-esteem और low self-confidence हो जाता है, तब फिर courage चला जाता है, फिर खुशी चली जाती है. Then you're just saying yes for the sake of yes. It's not even giving you happiness. And low self-esteem is one of the leading symptoms of other things, because फिर depression, anxiety, stress, वो सब उसके अंदर attached है. उसके अलावा it can have an effect on your relationship. जो भी हो, बच्चों के साथ हो, spouse के साथ हो, colleagues के साथ हो. It might seem that, you're making relationships better, but in the long run, whether you admit it to yourself or not, you're going to start to feel manipulated. You're going to feel used. You're going to feel like मैं ही हूँ, मैं ही मिली हूँ हमेशा, कि भाई आप मेरी तरफ आते हैं. तो उससे क्या होता है, फिर एक लैक ऑफ पर्सनल आइडेंटिटी हो जाती है, where you then start to wonder कि मुझे really चाहिए क्या. You don't really focus on what you really want and instead spend all your time doing what others want. So those moments of reflection where you really think that who am I and what do I want, those are such lonely moments because you've spent most of your life just pleasing other people. Apart from that, and
I want to add, they have no realization of what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely, because they're just on that, how should I say, they're on a wheel which never stopped, and so they're just keeping on repeating their same way or behavior, what they are used to expecting out of you, and I really feel that not having a sense of self is the worst thing you can do for yourself. You're not really then, you're saying yes to people, but you're not looking after yourself. So what happens to wellness and well-being? And of course, then in the bigger picture, if you keep saying yes, कितने सारे breakups हो जाते हैं, divorce की भी बात आ जाती है, especially अगर आप personal relationships की बात करो को, when you start feeling used and manipulated, and eventually one fine day you explode, and the other person is wondering कि ये कहाँ से आया,
and you walk away then from the relationship.
So that is a disservice to yourself, right? Because you could have probably fixed it while it was happening, rather than letting that cup overflow and then having more serious circumstances unfold. And then last but not the least, the burnout. You take, even if you don't have all of the above, even if you have चल सिर्फ anxiety है, थोड़ा stress है, tiredness है, चलो ठीक है, but that will eventually lead you to a burnout. And I know people who always say yes and are overstretched. They always fall sick. Common colds and flus are something that like they deal with, like when we go to fill gas or something, यहाँ पे flu हो गया, cold हो गया, fever आ गया. They don't sleep well. They're always tired. Any point of time you ask them, they're like, okay, no, I just want to rest. I just want to catch 1 hour of sleep. So if you're overgiving, you're headed for a burnout. So
and that breakdown.
Yeah, you need to realize that. And I feel these are big psychological costs to pay for not saying no.
Sure. Lots more to come on Double Shot Espresso. Especially, what are the psychological costs of not saying no? And how to actually say no.